Hello, friends. It's William here. I hope you're all doing well out there. Thank you for joining me today for an early afternoon live, late afternoon, mid afternoon. What afternoon is this? Anyway, it's earlier than normal for our live. Thank you so much for being here. I see Danette is here. Hello, Danette. Suzanne is here. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you for joining us. Susie is here. Harry is here. Harry says, I fired a rice bowl and a frog in the kiln today. I'm looking forward to doing more. My daughter bought a 12-pack of bisque bowls for me to glaze. Nice. That's awesome. That's one thing I never thought about doing is buying the bisque to try the glazes. That's an interesting idea. I've never thought that's a good idea. Amanda is here. Hello, Amanda. Sandra is here. Donna is here. Thank you all so much for joining me. I know it's an odd time, but I have my pottery tonight. I was going to cancel it and try and go tomorrow, but today's a day I think I just need to do it. Some of you may have seen my post. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I've been chatting with people and talking to people there, and I don't want to bring down the mood on the live, but it's been a rough few days for me, and yesterday was pretty good. Today, yeah, it's very up and down lately for me, and I also don't want to give the wrong impression. This is not because Andrew is gone necessarily. I have a lot more to do when he's gone, usually here, but I don't want anyone thinking that because he has gone that I'm, falling apart or that it's in any way him leaving or his fault. I get like this a few times a month and usually go through a period of about 3 to 5 days where things just get really hard. And I have noticed that sometimes it's by moon cycles. Somebody told me that the new moon is coming. New moons and full moons, usually I tend to find out that I'm being thrown off when I talk to Andrew about things. He's like, well, the moon is this. And it's usually new or full. I don't know what that's about, but that's one of those things. My mom also mentioned that to me, that I should watch the moon cycles because she seems to be affected by them as well. Sandra says new moon is tomorrow. Makes sense. Yeah. Who knew? Like, people growing up, people talk about the moon and how it pulls on you. And, I never really gave a lot to that. But the more I see my moods, the more I have to. The less I can, kind of look away from that and not believe that there's something that is happening there, because new and full moons, it tends to hit me hard. Let's see here. Vicky's here. Says the moon can affect our sensitive bodies. Yes, apparently it can, because it has been a day for me today. I will say that. Susie says, how was the corn last night? Yes, the corn was delicious. I had corn last night from the Amish farmers market, and it was really good. I have more for tonight. I got a dozen and they gave me 13. So I ate 4 last night, and then I also made another tomato sandwich last night, which was really good. Did I? I had one today. Did I make one last night? I think I did. I went through a phase last night where I was just eating little things, but like many, many things of little things. So I had corn last night, and I was talking to Andrew. So Andrew called last night, and he had enough reception and internet up there that he was able to get through. Normally, they're not allowed to use their phone in class, but his teacher was away, and he got permission to use his phone in the place. So he's not normally allowed to do that, which is why I never hear from him, or hardly hear from him until like usually early mornings or late at night. And but yesterday he called me, and I got introduced to some of his classmates, and he took me around the studio a little bit and a little walk around campus. So that was nice. This is the first time we've gotten to talk actually talk on the phone since he left. So that was good. And but anyway, so I was eating the corn while I was talking to him. And then I made a sandwich, a tomato and cheese and mayo sandwich, which was super good. My mom got me some tomatoes and bread and cheese, and I've been making tomato sandwiches. I had one for lunch today too, which it's been a really quick and good way to make a lunch for myself because I normally don't do that. And then I had an applesauce. I had a little thing of applesauce, you know, the little packs. And then I had pickled beets. I love pickled beets. They are one of my most favorite things in the world. So I had pickled beets. And then I also got peaches from the Amish farmers market. And the peaches were like this big. And he warned me when he was putting them in the bag. When he handed me the bag, he's like, they're very soft. You may not want to bump them much. I said, that means they're ripe and they're ready and they're good. And oh boy, were they. They did juice a little bit before I got them home in their bag, but I cleaned them up and I had to eat. I had to eat two of them right away because they were like ready. Like I could barely hold on to them to eat them because they were falling apart, but they were so good. So I had those, and then I had 4 fudge covered Oreos that my mom gave me a pack of them. I've been having like 4 every night. I've been keeping myself to 4 of them. So I've had those. And so I kind of had a bunch of little meals last night, but sometimes I prefer that over trying to make one big meal or eating something really heavy. I space it out over the course of the night and just eat a few little things. But it was all good. It's all really good. Harry says we've been having corn about once a week. Nice. Amanda says our corn isn't ready yet. I can't wait. It's so good. Yeah, it is. I love corn on the cob. My grandfather used to plant it. He had field corn for the deer, and then he had people corn. We just called it people corn and field corn. And he used to plant mostly silver queen. And I've not had much silver queen. I don't know anybody around here who specifically has silver queen. But his corn was always the best corn. I don't know if it was the soil, the care he put into it. I don't know what it was, but his corn was so good. We would never, ever, ever buy corn anywhere else. He used to set up a farm road stand, and his corn was so good that someone else tried to set up a stand right beside him to, like, you know, get business off of him, thinking they were him, or they would go on days that he wasn't there. And so he completely stopped selling because he didn't want people thinking that corn was his corn. It's so funny when you think about it, but I'd probably do the same thing. I'm like, I don't want people thinking that that's mine because that's not the same product. And once he did that, he actually had people who found out where he lived and would come up to his house to buy the corn. And he would take them up into the field and let them pick their own corn then. But yeah, I love that corn. So I just have a thing, like I like to have corn in the summers when we can. It's not always as good. The Amish corn is pretty good. It's a blend of a yellow and white. I said last night I don't know what kind it's going to be, but that's exactly what it was. There's some yellow kernels and some white kernels. I don't know what the variety is, but it's pretty sweet and it's pretty good. It's not overly sweet. Like I don't want the corn to be super duper sweet, but Silver Queen I really liked. Sandra says, it's got to be harder when he's gone too. Trust me, it's hard to do it all. Yes, it is. You know, a lot of you out there know. It is. And, you know, he's still there for me in a lot of ways, as much as he can be while he's away. But, you know, when he's really busy, and I try not to bother him too much. And so I add extra pressure to myself, even though he's like, just text me or just call me and we'll figure it out. Like, you know, I limit the amount sometimes that I could talk to him because I don't want to bother him, even though I know I'm not. He tells me I'm not bothering him. But, sometimes I think that's part of the anxious brain too, is just worrying that you're always bothering people. Um, or that people don't really want to hear about it anymore, or they're tired of hearing about it, or, you know, that happens sometimes. And sometimes it's true. I try not to be that. I try not to go in that direction where I talk about these things too much to the point where people are like, oh, here comes William. And you know what we're going to talk about today? Try not to do that with the anxiety and depression. But it is good to talk about it sometimes, I think. Vicky says peaches and cream corn. Maybe. Maybe. Harry says, Mom always grew Hawkeye Chief variety. It was wonderful. Never heard of that. There's a lot of corn I know. I've not heard of many varieties because I just grew up mostly on Silver Queen. That's what my grandparents ordered. They ordered the seeds. My grandfather planted them in the field. He had a big field of corn. I mean, not where he was selling it commercially, but really he planted much more generally than the family needed to plant. We would all end up taking corn home, and then the field corn, it was always fun because in the fall we would all go up to pick it together. And I remember as kids picking the corn, and we'd put it in 5-gallon buckets, and we go through the field and we pick off the field corn, throw it in the bucket, pick off the field corn, throw it in the bucket. And usually I'm trying to remember, but I think we would shuck it right there. And as we peel it, we just shuck it off and then break it off and throw it in the bucket. And then that corn, we would carry it down over the hill, and then we would put it in the corn cribs. And he had little corn cribs made. As a kid and an adult, I could fit inside of them. I could fit lots of me probably inside of them. And the corn would go in there, kind of stack in there to dry throughout the rest of the fall and into the winter. And then pretty much every day in the winter, as long as it wasn't like a total blizzard, and even sometimes when it was, because that's when the deer needed them the most, my grandmother would take a 5-gallon bucket or two, fill them up, and she would walk up over the hill, which is no little walk. The hill, they lived on a hill. So there was the hill, and then they had like a little kind of flat part that their house sat on, but there was a hill down below and a hill up above. And she would walk up over the hill, and they had woods up there, and she would walk through the woods, and she would clear off spaces, take her gloves or her boots, and she would clear off spaces. Sometimes she would carry like a broom or a shovel to push the snow around, and she would clear off spaces and put kernels of or ears of corn down. And then as she would go, she would also peel off kernels on the cob and let them fall to the ground for the turkey. So she would feed the deer by putting the corn usually in the wise of trees. She would stick it in, and they actually had some wire mesh that they suspended like hammocks between some of the trees where she would dump some of the corn. But she had specific trees that she would put every day. She would go through and she would put a cob of the corn in the Y of the tree or the crook of the tree. And then at the base of the tree, she would shell the corn off and leave it out for the turkeys. And when we stayed with her during the, breaks, Christmas break and winter breaks from school and stuff, we would run up and down the hill with her and help her feed the deer and the turkey. And once she was done at the top, she would come back to the corn cribs, and she would refill her buckets and go down to the bottom, the woods down below, and she would do the same thing. And they had a salt block down there, and that's where they had more of kind of the mesh hammocks in there. And she would leave a lot of corn down there and walk through the woods down there. And so this was, it was such a good thing for me because it really helped me, kind of, I want to say become one with nature, but it really helped me appreciate animals and taking care of things that, aren't yours, but still need taking care of. And I think that's where, when we talk about like helping take care of other people that you don't know, and animals that you don't know. I think it really set me up in life to have that empathy and that sympathy for other beings in general. And I'm very thankful for that, because I like that part of me, and I like the part that I care about other things, and even though they're not mine, they're not really under my control, but we can still care about them, and we can still want them to do well. And it goes for people too. Let's see, Amy is here lurking in the corner too. Hello, Amy. Thank you for lurking. Someone else said they were lurking. I don't know if I read that. Did I read that? Who else said they were lurking? I thought somebody else said that. But anyway, thank you all for being here. Marianne is here lurking. I don't know if I said that. I read it. But thank you all for being here. I hope you're doing well. How's life? How's your life? I've been talking about my life so much online today. Not really so much, like the last hour since I made my post. I've been thinking about it a lot before that. But how's everyone else out there doing? Harry let us know what he's up to. What are you all up to this afternoon? Having a good afternoon? The weather is beautiful here in Ligonier. It is in the 80s. It's hot. It is hot and it's humid, but it is it's nice. I don't want to be out in it too much or out doing too much in it, because I think it's getting to the point. I think it's a little dangerous to be out too much in this kind of heat. Especially when I'm in this mood where I start really thinking about, my heart and my health, and sometimes when I get depressed or anxious, I start like sitting around listening to my heartbeat, which is not the thing I necessarily should be doing, because I do believe you have a mental, that mind-body connection, and I don't want to tell my heart you need to beat weird when I'm just trying to see if I'm feeling okay. Because every once in a while I have just muscles in my chest and stuff that I feel like are jumping, and I'll feel one flutter, and I'm like, was that the muscle or was that my heart fluttering once? And I start to fixate on it a little bit. So sometimes if I'm out in the heat too much or doing too much on certain days when my mind is doing that, I don't think that's probably the best thing. Even though I don't know if anything would ever happen, but it's there's more of a chance, I think, when you're thinking about those things, and because I do believe there is a mind-body connection, and I do believe that there are certain things that you can bring to happen if you concentrate on them too much. So it's just like my anxiety causes me hives sometimes. Yay. I think those things can happen. So yeah, I was going to go out and mow today, but I didn't get out here at the cottage because I mowed the other day at the house. I didn't get out early enough today, and I didn't want to do it in the heat because it started to get pretty warm pretty quickly today. But what are y'all doing? What's going on out there? Anybody having anything interesting going on? Anybody doing anything? Have any plans with friends? What's happening with y'all? I haven't heard from y'all in a while. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what's going on. Feel free to chat while I'm chatting. I just keep talking because that fills the time instead of me just being silent and hoping somebody's gonna say something. But that doesn't mean you can't say something, because I'll be happy to chat. I like hearing what you're doing. It helps me a lot get my mind off of me, because I talk about me a lot because that's what I know. Yeah, Andrew though is having a good time. For those of you who don't know, he's up in Maine, and he is having a great time up there. He is studying he's learning how to do carvings on like stone and glass using flex shafts and things like that. So this is something he's really not done before, and he's really getting into it. He's also doing a lot of other things with those carvings. So he's setting them in different ways, and creating new different kinds of settings that he's never done before. And so it's really fun. He took me on a little tour of some of the ones that he hasn't shown in photos and stuff too. And he's been doing quite a lot of work. Um, oh, Suzanne says, my new chair exercise class starts today. That's cool. That's, I think, is a very good thing because some people have mobility issues, right? And they're afraid to exercise. I know my mom was going through some things at one point, and she was having a hard time. And there was an exercise program that I found, and I can't remember where it was now, but they had one person doing the exercises just normal. Then they had one person doing the exercises with a chair as support. And then they had one person doing the exercises, I believe, on the chair, like from the chair. And I showed those to her, and I think she really liked them because, it was something that, even if she could do them the regular way, it was still something that gave her, the idea that she had support there if she needed it. And so, even me, sometimes my balance is not great. I used to have really good balance, and I don't know, those of you with anxiety out there, does it affect your balance? Because it affects my concentration. And I feel like because it affects my concentration, it affects my balance. Because to be balanced, you kind of have to be in a space where you're kind of, focused on something. It helps to focus on something to balance. And for me, when my mind is flying all around, I feel like I'm more awkward. I'm less balanced. So even for me, I have done some of those that are, at least chair supported exercises before. Let's see here. Vicky says, I'm watching you and waiting for a test for my vocal cords. They will be using a mini camera. Oh, I hope everything goes well. That's interesting. I hope everything's okay. A mini camera, test your vocal cords. That's wild. The things they do these days, I've never heard of that. So that's interesting. I'll have to look that up. Sanders feeling exhausted today, struggling too. Made myself a pair of new earrings to go with my fluorite Fiesta necklace. Nice. Yeah, sometimes creativity helps get your mind off of it. Sometimes I have a hard time getting into a creativity spot because I feel like I have too much other work I need to do. And also, I feel like I just can't, And so I'm glad, Sandra, that you were able to at least get into that, because I find that if I do get into that, and that's why I'm kind of forcing myself, I am really, as much as I love my pottery class, I am not looking forward to going today. I just am not. It feels like it's like going to be this huge feat to get myself to go. But I feel like once I'm there, it will help me. So that's why that's why I did this live early. I'm forcing myself to go, trying to take care of myself because I know it will make me feel better to get a little creative and kind of get my mind off of things. And I'm doing the live early so that I have the live off of my mind and I don't have to feel like I have to rush back home to do the live in time to get it done before it gets way too late. And so I'm just trying to do that because I know that creativity definitely helps if you can get in the zone. So yeah. Suzanne says anything can affect your balance. I believe that. I believe that. Getting older affects your balance. I've noticed that. Vicky says, yes, it can affect your balance if not focused, right? Yeah, I think because I have a hard time focusing sometimes. And so I feel like I'm much more awkward in my adult years here than I used to be. And Andrew were like, why are you stumbling around? And sometimes it's just because my head is not even my brain is not even here. My brain is somewhere else. And I'm like chasing after my brain as fast as I can. That's the only way I can explain it to people. My brain is 500 steps in the future and I'm trying to constantly chase and keep up with my brain. And it's very much, most of the time, I need to learn it's not working. That's when I forget my keys. I leave the house without my water. I leave the house without my phone. Get in the car. I end up driving around the block, coming back into the house to pick up this and get this. Because in my mind, like I'm already, for example, here at the cottage. I should be there at the cottage doing work by now. And so I rushed myself around, chasing my brain up to here, and then not realizing that I forgot half of my stuff and having to go back anyway. And if I had just been like, okay, what do I need to leave the house now? It would have been fine. So yeah, I stumble around a lot, I think, because I'm really not focused on right now. Sandra says, I made myself do it. That's good. That's good. It's a good thing, I think. You got to do those things sometimes. You really got to do those things sometimes. I need to start some kind of stretching, I think stretching routine. Yoga would probably be good. I know, Suzanne, you do that and you teach that. It probably would be good for me to do that because it's both kind of stretching and muscle building and core building and breathing. And I mean, I don't know how much, Suzanne, you get into more than the exercise, but I know that yoga is also about, the ways of connecting with yourself and in some ways about manifestation. And I've been listening a little bit to Deepak Chopra, and he's been talking about the different levels in yoga and the things that go with not only the body part of it, but the mind part of it. And a lot of them, make a lot of sense. And I feel like I should get more into that. So I might become one of those yoga people at some time. We'll see. We'll see. Vicky says, of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most. It's true. Some days I'm like, what is happening to me? But yeah, some days I'm fine. Some days are very, very, I feel very together. It's not as often as I used to, but some days are like, okay, we're good. But some days are really, yeah, my mind is gone. Sandra says, yoga might be good for you for balance in all ways, right? Balance physically, balance mentally. Yeah, I used to do some strength training. I need to get back into it. I keep saying it. I used to go running. I haven't run at all this summer, which is really bad because I have this yearning to do it, and I should just get out and do it. Suzanne says, I do breath work and listening to your body. I can't mention manifestation because my class would freak out. I see. Yeah, I always wonder about that. Like, I don't know how, I wasn't sure how your classes were as far as what mindset your people were in and that kind of stuff, because I know some kind of yoga teachers around here that are very much their whole clientele is pretty much that kind of manifestation and doing all the stuff, doing all this, the sound baths and the energy and the vibrations and also the mind body and the strengthening of all of that together. So yeah, I think it's interesting because I did not know that about yoga. Like, I had an idea that there was more to it than just, I know we kind of just adopted the physical part of yoga a lot over here. But I didn't realize until I started listening to more of him how deep it kind of really can go. And just getting into connecting with your higher being and the manifestation part of that. And it's kind of wild that this stuff was, I don't want to say invented. I guess it was invented, but that it was dreamed of and developed so many years ago. And it's one of those things, like we've kind of lost that connection with some of it, but people knew about all this stuff a long time ago, before science started proving that some of this is actually, what happens in the brain. And it just blows my mind sometimes when you compare that. And where did that knowledge come from? And why did people figure it out? And what have we lost along the way, right? Anyway, so that's, yeah. Here I go, going into all of this. I don't know if this, if any of you all have, interest in that kind of stuff much or not, but that's what I get into if you leave me to my devices, right? But yeah, so I'm trying to think if I have anything coming up. I bit my lip eating the corn last night, and so I have a bite inside my lip. Yeah, that's what I've got. Andrew, I think, has decided that he is going to stop for a day at home this weekend. So he's going to be leaving up there Friday, and he will be coming home for a day and staying the day on Saturday, and then he will be leaving Sunday morning early to head down to North Carolina. So that'll be good to have him home for a day. That's the tentative plan, at least. If he changes it, it's possible he might do that because of time or whatever happens. But that's the tentative plan for now. That'll give him a day here at the house. I will probably stay home from the store that day. So I probably will be closed in Johnstown on Saturday, just to kind of spend the day with him before he leaves again, and help him recharge, help me recharge, help him get some laundry done, and some prepping for his next class that he's going to, which is going to be wax carving. I think he's carving waxes. So he will be back at some point late Friday night or early Saturday morning, I guess is the plan, depending on how long it takes him to get back here. So that'll be nice. So if you're planning to come up to the store this weekend, I will probably be closed Saturday. I haven't talked with him about it yet, but I think I've kind of made that executive decision that I would rather spend some time with him while he's here for the day. And maybe we'll work on some stuff together before he leaves. I've had these things, those enamel pendants that I haven't wanted to fire myself because I'm kind of timid to do it. So we might do that while he's here and see how that goes. But yeah, that's what's going on here. Yeah. How's everybody? I was planning to do more of a chat today, and just do a quick sell here at the end, but everyone's pretty quiet. Everyone's pretty quiet this afternoon. Some people are chatting. I appreciate that. I know not everyone has something every day that happens, right? Even I don't. I talk about my day, but a lot of the times I know it's kind of the same thing that's going on. You're probably getting tired of me talking every day about the same things because it pretty much is, my day is a lot of the same stuff. And without Andrew's humor thrown in there sometimes, it's probably a little, repetitive. I hope I don't do too much repetitive stuff. But yeah, that's what it's been pretty much most days the same. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'll flip the camera and we'll do a quick live sale, show you some of the stuff I picked out for today, and then I will close it out and tally up anything that is sold and send out invoices, hopefully maybe before my class, maybe not until after. Suzanne says, I've got some business meetings coming up. Hopefully that's a good thing. Hopefully business meetings is a good thing. Yeah, hopefully they're good. I know business meetings can be sometimes, but sometimes they can mean really good things are happening. So I hope that it's the good things happening for you. So Suzanne says, and a good friend of mine is running for House of Representatives. Oh, good. Because I know I can, if they're a friend of yours, I can trust that they are going to be good for our future. So that's great. That's really great. I hope they are supported well. Suzanne says, I'm trying to be open. Good. Yeah, sometimes it's hard, right? It's hard to be open to things. I'm trying that a lot right now too. And I'm assuming you mean with like the business meetings and about how they might turn out. Yeah, I am the same way. I'm trying. It's hard. because I've talked about it before. I tend to be a little bit on the pessimistic side, or slash what I used to call realist, but that was just the pessimistic side of me pretending everything was really not great all the time. I think that happens to a lot of people that call themselves realists. Um, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but um, I called myself a realist for a very long time, because I thought I wanted to be real. I want to say things the way they are, but we're all tainted with, our thoughts and the way that we look at things. Um, and It was more me being pessimistic, I think, than an actual realist. I was looking at it from a pessimistic side of things. So I'm trying to be more of an optimist lately. It is not it is not easy making that transition. I don't know where you all consider yourselves, if you think you're optimistic or pessimistic or realistic. But I'm trying to go from, I grew up, my family had hard times. It was not seldomly said. It was often said, life is hard, work is hard, you know, life is hard. Um, and I'm trying to get out of that, trying to be more open to the good things that are out there. And I know I have a lot of good things. You all are a lot of the good things that happen to us, and to me. And I think that's one of the reasons I try to say it a lot, that we appreciate you all. And I never want it to come across as uh, I don't know what's the word. I don't want insincere, I guess, because I say it so much, but it just truly is one of the things that, that I do understand. Like I don't always look at things as good or optimistic or, um, you know, that I'm grateful for, but you all are some of the things in my life. I don't mean to call you things. You're some of the people, but you are, um, in my life, that I do truly understand that I have friends out there. And anytime I'm having issues, I get lots of comments on my posts and lots of support and lots of love and lots of good energy sent. And it's hard to ignore that, right? There's a lot of things I think that I ignore in life that are good things that I should look at as being grateful for more. Um, but I can't ignore you all. So thank you for that, and thank you for all of your support. And and I mean that because you do a lot for us. Not only support the business, but just as people. You're always there for us. And anytime Andrew and I have any issues, you're always there, whether it's just, sending good energy, whether it's to offer, words of wisdom or things that you've been through. Um, it means a lot. It does. It means a lot because, Andrew and I are a lot of times just by ourselves. We work together. We don't go a lot of places because we do like what we do, and we work hard at what we do. And so those things that we don't get out a lot. Andrew gets out a little bit more because he goes to some of these classes and things, but most of the time it's spent just us. And it can sometimes become a little overwhelming or a little lonely. And knowing that anytime we reach out, there is a plethora of wonderful people out there and a whole community out there that reaches back, um, is kind of amazing. And so thank you all for that. Hello, Leslie. Thank you for joining us. Marion says, as long as we are good things, right? You are. You're good things. Suzanne says, I'm a realist. Yeah. Optimistic realistic, says Marianne. Marianne says, we actually had some sun this morning. That's good. We've been having a lot of sun, which is, I think, nice, but it's been hot. Yeah, it's funny because I tell my cats, I say, you're a good little thing. So that's funny you said that, Marianne, because I talk to my cats like that. Um, so if I talk to them like that, talking to other people like that is really good because, um, my cats are very near and dear to my heart. They are my babies. And so, yeah, anything, I think somebody who loves cats, if they say something to you like they would say to their cats, I think that's like one of the highest compliments that I would receive from somebody like that, because um, that means that you are entrusted, that you are in the circle. Um, so yeah. Anyway, let's get started with the live cell a little bit before I get weepy, because I felt that tensioning in your throat when the waterworks are going to start, because I'm thinking about too much now. So I'm going to stop that. And I'm going to flip the camera around. So let's get started with this. Um, Not to cut it off as people are starting to comment more, but we can still chat about it. But I'm going to turn the camera away. And I got to flip the camera around too. Settings, camera, mirror, turn it off. All right. Leslie says, yes, my cats are everything to me. I feel you, William. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things that, yeah, if I talk to people like I talk to my cats, that means you are like in, right? There's like, you would have to do a lot to get yourself thrown out of that circle, that inner circle. So William, you are a pearl. What's that mean? I am a pearl. Just being nice. I'm a pearl. What am I? I don't know. I try to be nice. I don't know. Sometimes I never know when I say things how they will come across to people, and I worry about that probably more than the average person, because my anxiety makes me. I want people to like me. That's how I grew up, because I had so many issues between, we didn't talk about my dad's what he was going through, so that was something I kind of hid from people, and I didn't. I you know I went through my vitiligo, and that was really hard on me, and I never really talked to anyone about it. I just showed up to school with like missing pigment, and back then there was no internet for people to look that up and know what that was all about. And so I changed a lot like that. And so it's one of those things that I covered a lot of myself up, and I try to open up and be nice to people, but I also worry when I do that I'm going to say something that's going to make someone not like me. And I have to get over that. I know. That's what, being an adult sometimes is about, overcoming that. I think a lot of people still have issues with that. I like people to like me. I want people to like me. But I'm getting to the point finally in my life where I would rather be who I am than worry if people are going to like that. But that's still hard. That's still hard sometimes for me. Susan says, well, then you and I are going to have a coming to Jesus meeting. I say that a lot to my cats. That's funny. My cats are my pearls. That's cute. That's sweet. I appreciate that. All right. Let me take a drink. And we will get started with things. Now, I don't think we've ever shown this before. I don't know if we've shown this. I think we've shown one like this, but it was not this kind. I have one of these. I don't know if I was allowed to take it off the wall, but I took it off the wall. And this is going to be $16. Our lot numbers today, if you want to purchase from this video, take down the lot number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. Lot numbers are ACS today. Hey, Susan. Says, hi, just joining, just had a meeting. Thank you so much for for hanging out with us. Take down this lot number, ACS1 or ACS, it's going to be 1 through 30 or 40 we'll do today, depending on my time and how quickly I go. And then send that to us in an email, info@allegorygallery.com. That's all you got to do. You can't claim in the comments, though. We don't accept those claims because we have comments going on in multiple places. So email's the one place everything will come in together. Leslie says, I think I didn't get that gene, but I'm always surprised that people like me. I kind of wish that I didn't have that. I wish I would. I don't know where it came from either. Like, I'm always so overly concerned. Anyway, let me show you this before I start yammering again. This is Korean lampwork glass, vintage. And there are these little kind of rosettes inside of a cylinder that has a little, I don't know what you call it, little swirly going on in there. But it's this whole strand of these. And I think they're super dang cute. It's about a 15-inch strand. And these beads are about 7.5 millimeters by 15. 7.5 by 15 millimeters. And there you go. And they're all different beautiful colors with those little rosettes in there. One strand available. Ribbon. There's a good word for it, Marianne. Thank you. Ribbon. ACS1. Korean lampwork glass. Vintage. See? Korean lampwork glass. Which I think is cool. We don't have a lot of stuff from Korea. So I think that's cool. Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. I think my vitiligo is really, and being gay in a time period where it was really hard, in a place where it was really hard growing up. But I think that stopped me. It made me want to have people like me more. I've always had that a little bit, though. I think even when I look back on things, I've always worried if people like me. And when I look at my mom and my dad, they are not really like that. My mom, you know, she is not afraid to tell someone something. You know, like, it's never generally mean, but if you need to talk to customer service about something that you've truly been wronged on, she is the one that you want on the phone. We have sold ACS1. Thank you so much. We have ACS2. Oh, I have 2 of these. This is vintage Czech glass. And these are these triangles in vintage Czech in this kind of amethyst color. This is an 8-inch strand. They're $6 a strand. And they are about 7.5 by about 8 millimeters. And we've got 2 of those available. Yeah, my mom is, you know, and I used to be more like that a little bit, but over time I became less and less, and I worried about what people thought and about what people thought about what I said. And like, we were at the ball game the other night, and one of the coaches, my mom does the scorekeeping for the kids' ball games during certain times of the year, during certain competitions or tournaments, I guess is the word, during certain tournaments. And she couldn't really see the batter very well, and because one of the coaches was standing in the way. And so she was kind of talking about it, but she didn't want to be rude to the coach that was there, you know, because she's kind of, it was the other team's coach, and she's not really on the team, but she's the scorekeeper, so she didn't want to cause a fuss. And my dad just was like, "Hey, coach, can you get out of the way?" And the coach then realized that he was in the way, so it wasn't a big deal. But I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that he just yelled that out. But that's the way my parents are. So I don't know where I got the worrying about so much about what I say. Like, I would never say that, because I'd be worried that they'd be like, well, who's he to tell me to move? But it worked out, and the coach realized he was in the way, And he apologized and he moved. And so it's one of those things that um, I realize sometimes I way overthink stuff. Like I overthought that conversation a lot. Like, because I know my mom was having a hard time, and I was like, well, the guy should move, but shouldn't tell him to. My dad just was like, okay, hey, can you move? And didn't think twice about it. And I admire that sometimes because I overthink things way too much. These are 12 millimeter vintage Czech glass. They're table cut, but they're table cut with a little indent in them. They kind of remind me a little bit of yin yang, but they don't quite go to that extent. But they're super cool, I think. Vintage Czech glass coins, ACS 3. ACS 4. Leslie says it's a generational thing. My grandmother wouldn't have been nearly as polite. Yeah, I don't know. Like, but I think my grandmother also had kind of what I have. Like, she was not one to. I mean, if something really, like, she would protect her family, like she would stand up for her family, but she was not one to say a lot generally, even if things were being, she was being inconvenienced. And so I think I got it a little bit from her, maybe, I don't know, but she was a little bit. I think as she got older, she wasn't as timid to speak her mind, but there were certain things that she, certain people she wouldn't talk to, or certain things she wouldn't disagree with. But yeah, it was really, I think, I don't know. And I don't know how, like, my great grandma and great grandparents were. This is a pendant, glass pendant, Boro glass pendant. And I thought it was a cool color. And I love that gold. I'm into yellow and gold right now. I can't help myself. If you've been watching the lives, I think I've been doing a lot of it. So hopefully you all like it. But I thought this was a nice little Boro glass pendant. This is about, what are we at? 27.5 by 54. Maybe just round up to 54 about on that. And it's a little transparent, so you could layer it behind with things if you wanted to. I think that would be cool. Thank you. We've just sold both of 2. I'm going to put that away, and we've sold 1. I'm going to put that away as well. I appreciate it. Oh, and if you missed last night's show, there's a lot left from last night. It was a slow night last night. So if you missed it and want to check it out, I did a lot of new stuff by Harry. So Harry Wood, some new ceramic that he sent us, some bowls, some pendants. I did that last night, as well as just some of my favorite things. And so if you did miss that show, I hope you'll take a replay and take a look at what you may have missed. Suzanne says, I thought about you when I worked on my necklace today. Nice, thank you. Did I see what you made today? I don't always see the dates on things. Did you show it? Did you show a picture? I feel like I did see something from you today. But I don't know if it was from today. I'm going to look. If you post in the Design Challenge group. Harry, I saw Harry's stuff. Oh, yes, the Pure Fun one. That was this morning. Yes. The yellow. Yes, you're right. I was just talking about yellow. That's why you mentioned it. Like, why were you thinking of me? The yellow. Yes. I love that piece because, I love those vintage plastic beads on that so much. So much. They were some of the new vintage stuff that we got, and I love them. I think they're so kind of magical. They have such a good glow to them. It's hard to capture the glow in the photos or in a video, but those beads kind of glow. They have that carnelian yellow, really nice vibe to them. And then that pendant is awesome. I love that pendant. That was all part of that the vintage shows. So thank you for posting that. You know what? I'm gonna go a little bit lower on these. I'm just gonna do them at 6. I'm gonna do them at 5. And next up, we have these brushed metal beads. Now there's 2 strands here. There's 3 of them on a strand. Let's see. Oh, quit flipping. Why are you doing this? It's Mercury retrograde. It always does this anyway. I can't just blame Mercury on this one because it seems to want to do that. These are brushed metal, large beads. I think they're fantastic. They are definitely, you could use those as earrings. They're definitely light enough to use as earrings. I think they would make fantastic earrings, actually. I don't wear earrings, and it seems like I'm always designing in my head, designing earrings with stuff because I don't know why. I love earrings. I don't wear them. I've never got my ears pierced. Maybe I should. These are 11 millimeters. Maybe that's telling me something. Let me get this one. It'll be easier to measure. 11 by about 47.5 millimeters. You're seeing both strands here. They're $5 only a strand. $5 for 3 of them. 2 strands available. ACS 5. Okay. Next up, I figured I'd throw these out there because I found some of these kits laying around, and I don't think I ever put these in the online store. We had these kits at $14, which I think is super fair, but I'm just going to go down to 12 today. I have 4 of them left. And I think we did these one year for 4th of July. Whoa! Where'd you go? There you are. We've sold 1 of the ACS 5s. Thank you so much. We've still got 2 left. So this kit starts out with one of these large check glass beads. It's a big, large check glass bead. And then you get these rounds in vintage check. It's a long strand. That's a 12-inch strand. This big one is about 16 millimeters. These are about 6 millimeters. So you get that. And then you get, I think I just had, did I just have these? No, I had different ones on the show last night. But these are the Pentagon red with a blue metallic flash. And that's an 8-inch strand. And these are 7.3 by 12.3. So you get that in that kit. And then you're going to get a strand of fire polished check glass in the blue and silvery coppery. They're silver sometimes, and they flash copper others. They're really pretty. So you get those, and that's that cobalt blue, which I love. So you get that, and then you're going to get, whoops, you actually get 2 of those. And then you're going to get these vintage check waffle, kind of waffle-like beads. I love these. I don't think we have any more of these. I think they're only in these kits. And then you get these red, white, and blue star glass beads. And so that's the kit. It is $12 only today. And there are 4 of them available if you're interested in that. And remember, it is a red, white, and blue kind of colorway, but you can use those beads separately. It's just a lot of good strands for $12. Like really, this strand and this strand together would be at least $6 a piece. So it's like getting this strand for free. It's like getting all these beads for free and getting these for free. So there you go. If you're interested in a kit that Andrew put together, it is available now. It was $14, now only $12. We still have one of the ACS 5s available. The ACS 3, I'm going to move just because we're running out of room, but it is still available as well. ACS 3. Yeah, y'all have been showing some nice things in the Design Challenges group lately. I haven't done a recap. Sometimes I do the recaps on the lives, but I have not. I need to do that. I should do that. But if you haven't checked the Design Challenges group on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, please join. Please check it out because there's a lot of good stuff people are posting in there. I still need to put together my necklace that I made during the Creative Make-Along last Friday. And once I get it crimped, that's my problem. I just didn't crimp it. I don't have crimp tubes. I gotta find my crimp tubes. I really haven't had a chance to look for them. I've been kind of exhausted by the time I get home most nights, but I really like how it came out. I'm pretty proud of it. And I think it's going to be something that I'm going to wear more often. I need to start wearing more jewelry. I don't wear much, and I love wearing it. I don't know why I don't. I think it's one of those things that I just haven't done it for so long. When I was younger, I used to wear jewelry all the time. I had rings, I had necklaces, bracelets, and now, for some reason, I don't. And I don't know why. I got out of the habit of doing it. It's like when you stop wearing a watch for a while, and then it's weird to wear a watch again. Kimberly says, hello everyone, just got home from my son's appointment. Everything okay? Sandra says, when is your pottery class? It's at 6. 6? Yeah, 6. All right, this is a beautiful lampwork glass strand. And I love this strand. I don't know who the maker is. So if anyone out there has a clue, you can suggest it in the comments. I don't know who it is. It was originally, we had it 36, taking it down to 24 if anybody is interested. I love it because it's got these bubbles on here that show through to what the inner colors of the inner glass are, because it's got this glass on top that's done in this kind of green and turquoise color, but you know from these bubbles that there's other glass under there, and you're seeing through to the insides, and it's so cool. So cool. Kimberly says, all good, just to follow up to his jaw surgery. Have a goal date of 12/20/26. Oh, good. I'm glad things are going well. We want you all doing well. Everybody has to do well. That's the way it is. That's the way it has to be. And these are approximately 24 millimeter column coins. They're flat on, or semi-flat on the back. They don't have the bubbles on the back. And then we have them like this. And there are 5 of them, and they're only $24 for the whole set, which I think is an excellent, excellent deal if you love lamp work. It's a good one. It's a good one to grab. Whoops. Let's not throw the camera around here. This stand, the reason I hit it so much, because you're probably like, why does he keep hitting that? There is a, there's a little handle that you can grab onto to adjust it like this. So there's an actual handle on it, and it sticks way out. And every time I move across, I end up hitting it. These are so cool. I don't even remember these. These, I think, are an antique Czech or German. I don't remember. But I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 beads. Let me show you these. These are super cool. These have 2 holes. And so they're kind of like the S-word crystals that we had in the vintage shows. But these have a little kind of divot and a bump in the center. Instead of kind of the S word just had a line down the center. These kind of have a dot and a divot around the center. And we have those for you. And let's see here. These are about 13.5 by 20 millimeters. And they were $12 for the lot. I'm going to mark it down to $10. And one of our friends took some of those S-word crystal ones and they made their own loops. They're a metalsmith, so they made their own jump rings for those. And they just started putting them together with jump rings, and they made beautiful little bracelets out of those. So I think that would be a cool thing to do with those too. Let's see here. Nancy said, just joining in, glad I caught the live. Have fun in pottery class. I envy you. Always loved playing in clay many years ago. Yeah, I'm trying to get myself, you know, in the pottery making spirit. Like I was saying earlier, I'm having a rough day, so it's really hard. I'm trying not to sound like I'm having a rough day, and I'm trying to get my mind off of it. But it's been a rough one, and I am trying to put myself in the mentality of I'm going to have fun tonight in pottery class instead of like feeling like it's going to be work. You know, sometimes our fun things feel like work when we're not feeling well, and so like I'm trying to resist as hard as I can, just not wanting to curl up and go back to bed. that's pretty much what I'm trying to do with my life today. Not go back to bed, as it lures me in. Nancy says, "Ooh, great green and really unique beads. Just saw their links. Yes, they are. Throw clay, it makes a rough day forgotten." Yeah, I'm hoping. ACS 5, there's still 1 strand of these. There's a strand of 3 beautiful brushed beads. I love this. I love that. That texture is so good. I love brushed metal. I always have. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite things. Maybe I'll keep the other one of those. We'll see. ACS 6 is this large kit for only $12. ACS 7. Ooh, ACS 7 just sold. Thank you so much. Someone got a really good deal on that. Appreciate that. Pottery sounds like fun, says Vicky. Maybe working with clay will make you feel better, says Susan. I'm hoping so. And it generally is fun. Like I have fun. I like my classmates who are usually there. Like we have a kind of group that comes every Wednesday. You know, it's mainly the same people. I think we are the most regular group. My teacher has various other groups that some of them come every other week or, you know, every 2 weeks or once a month. But we're like the weekly class. And so it's really nice. But sometimes it's just, you know. Diane says, looking at your pottery vessels on the web is inspiring me to take some classes. I wish you were closer. Then you could come take classes with me. That would be fun. I just want, you know, someday when I win the lottery and don't have to be anxious about so much, I will create a community of artists here in Ligonier. And we will just do all these fun things together. We will make Star Cottage Studio the hub, and we will just do amazing, fun things, and people can come, and we'll we'll put apartments upstairs, and people will come and stay, and we will make pottery, and we will cast things, cast metal, and we will do enamel work, and we will make jewelry, and we will play with beads, and we will light things on fire, and we will do so much, and play with polymer clay and mold making, and it will be so much fun. So much fun. Here's some carnelian. This is vintage. These are vintage carnelian, and they are oddly shaped. There's no real particular shape to them, but they are all like they took some of the juiciest parts and shaped them. It's like they wanted to be like, this is juicy. It's not round. It's not oval, but it's juicy, so we're going to make it a bead. And I love that. I love the odd shaped beads. Because a lot of times I do asymmetrical stuff, and I don't want things that are exactly the same. So there are 2 strands of those. Generally, they're around, that's about 8 millimeters by 20 and a half. 8 by 20 and a half, and these are about 15-inch strands. Get up there. Oh, Teresa's here. Hello, Teresa. Says, I have had hard days lately too, William. Stay positive and know that you are going to have a good night. I'm trying. I'm trying. Thank you for that. Marion says, sigh. Someone got the lovely lamp work. I know. It really is nice. It really is nice. Yeah, I'm trying to stay positive. Trying to bring myself out of the funky funks, right? And I think I did that with color today. I don't know if you're noticing, but I think I have a lot of different colors and materials today. And, you know, color helps me, I think, a lot. Let's see here. This was 18, which was the old good price. I'm just going to go down a little bit more to 15 on this. I hope you're feeling better, Teresa. I don't like it when any of our friends are feeling down or feeling pressure, because I know what it's like. And I would not wish that on people that I like. Not one bit. These are large, very large sodalite. And I love these beads. They're a nice quality of sodalite. Lots of blue to them. And it's a nice big, it's over 16 inches. Sorry. And every bead is about 11.3 by 12.6 by 16.6. So about 11 by 12 and a half by 16 and a half. So they're a little bit narrower on one side than the other, and then the length. And we put that at $15 only. That's a lot of beads for $15. But look, actually, look at these colors. Look at how vibrant, like the beautiful deep blues and reds, these deep greens. These are still available, by the way. I can't believe it. That orange and that blue. I see like these going together. I play with that. All right, let me put the kit away. That's still available if anybody wants the kits. ACS 6. Be careful about how I do this because I don't need to lose any of these beads, or there's only going to be 3 kits left. Okay. 6, 7, move 8 over. Get all this good, beautiful color together. Oh. Marion says, love on your new kitten, Teresa. Yeah, how's the new baby doing? How is that new baby doing? Suzanne says, Charlie is being a butt to her sister. Uh-oh, poor Cinnamon, what's happening? What's Charlie doing? Charlie. Ours have been acting up too, I should say. Ida Bell and Tallulah have been being a butthead to Gilbert. Every single time I put down food and he comes down off of his perch to go get the food, they chase him away so he can't eat. So I've had to start putting a plate up high for him to eat by himself. I don't know what's going on. And then and then he chases Gertie, but he's been slowing down on chasing Gertie. He hasn't been chasing Gertie very much. And maybe that's the girls working things out, but they've stopped kind of chasing Barnaby, which is good. But then the other day, Gilbert was just minding his own business, sleeping up on his tower, and Ida Bell went up there and started beating him up, woke him up, started beating him up out of nowhere, and chased him down off of there. And then sat up above where he was sitting, not even in his seat, just chased him out to sit above him, which she could have done anyway. So I don't know what's happening. I'm going to give this one a really good price too. This is a beautiful lampwork glass pendant with that beautiful, I love that kind of blue, purpley, red, yellow, amber with the gold on the outside. It's like gold sun and these little gold rays, maybe like wind. But that is so beautiful, and that was $32, and I'm doing it for $24 for y'all today. I'm giving you the good deals today. Yeah, I totally didn't realize this weekend there was another big event. So some of you may have been there, I don't know, but I totally forgot about that because I was like, why are some of our numbers lower? Because that happens. Especially when I was posting stuff in the D stash, there weren't many people around. I'm like, that makes 100% sense. And I had no idea that was going on. I'm kind of out of that loop. I stay out of that loop a little bit now. So, yeah. Harry says that big bead would go good with the blue next to it. With this? Yes, it would. Of course it would. Look at that. Look at that. We have sold ACS10, by the way. Thank you so much. That has just sold. Anybody you want to pick that one up too to go with it? Super pretty, right? If that were hanging from that. Maybe throw in some amethyst or some garnet. Ooh, if you had some of that berry garnet to use as spacers in between the sodalite, that would be amazing with that kind of pinky purpley garnet color. Okay, let me get the big bag here. Let me put 10 away since that has sold. Eight, 9, and 11 are still available. CS12. Oh, why can't I remember who this is? Andrew would know. Sorry, I can't remember. I don't even remember putting this in the bag today to show you all, so it jumped in on its own, I'm going to say, and because of that, I meant to show you. So here we go. I just can't remember the name. I usually, if we definitely know the name, I usually say it or figure it out before the live, but this one jumped in and I don't remember it jumping in. So this is a hollow glass bead. The entry points, the hole is across the top like this, and it's a hollow glass. It was 60. I'm gonna do it for 45 for y'all today. 45. Hollow lampwork glass bead. If you do purchase it and you want to know who made it, I will ask Andrew. Some of y'all here might know. I just can't think of the name right now, and I didn't write it down. But I know we've talked about this before. So I can get you the name, I'm sure. But look at that. Kimberly says that is a cool bead, right? It is super cool. I love these little raised bumps. And it is hollow. It's hollow glass. And it's got this orangey glass, like this bumpily. I don't even know how that happens. I don't know much about lampwork. Maybe y'all do. But look at the texture on the orange. It's kind of almost cloud-like. And then it's got the clear over top with this flower done just under the clear coat. And then it's hollow on top of it all. And this bead is 39 millimeters. And like I said, the hole goes across the top like that. ACS 12 was 60, now 45. Teresa says he's sleeping on my lap right now. That's cute. Super cute. Okay. Next up. ACS 13. We had these at 8. I'm going to bring it down to 6. $3 a bead on these. These are the Venetian glass. Venetian glass, twisted beads. $6 for the pair, 1 pair available. And they are approximately 18 by 22. We'll round up 18 by 22. Let's see here. Thank you. We just sold 9 and 11. So 11 has sold. That one is so pretty. Oh, so dreamy. Okay, so that one is gone. Thank you, thank you. And 9. We have 2 of those. We still have one available, but I'm going to put it away to make room anyway. So let me take that off the table right now. Here's sleeping on the pillow behind me, says Mary. That's cute. That's cute. My Ida Bell, she's been chasing Gilbert a little bit, but it's hard to stay mad at her because she is such a sweet thing to me lately. I feel like she knows when I'm not feeling good, and she comes up and she turns on her little purring motor so loud. And she just purrs and purrs and purrs, and it's super sweet. Let's see here. We had these at 18. I'm going to bring them down to 14. There are 2 in here. For those of you who like Tiger Eye. I think, let go. So these are really nice vintage Tiger Eye strands. And really nice quality on those. And these are 7mm? No, 8. Let me get in there. Hold on. 8mm. I'm gonna say sometimes the vintage they did do a lot of 7 and 7.5, but that's an 8mm tiger eye. Nice size for bracelets. You know, stretch bracelet. If you're doing something like that, it's really nice quality. You could probably get 2 to 3 of them, depending on if you use other spacers in between. And if you sell stuff, 2 to 3 of them, sell them for $10 to $12 a bracelet, and you'll make money on those then. Tiger eye. A lot of people know tiger eye too, and it's funny because we don't always sell a lot of tiger eye here on the show, on the lives, to you all who are makers. But when we have tiger eye bracelets pre-made in the store, they sell like crazy. I should just make a bunch, but then I got to do the work. And that's hard for me to do extra. Okay, we just sold one of the 14s. Thank you so much. We have one of them left. Harry says, my cats were being butts this morning. One put the light on next to my bed and crawled on top to make biscuits. The lamp has a touch switch and they turn it on by walking across. Oh boy. I guess it was time for you to get up, huh? It's time for you to get up, Harry. They had decided, they made that decision for you, right? All right, this was, what was this? This was 16. I'm going to bring it down to 12. No, it was 3:30. Oh boy, that's even early for you. Because aren't you up usually though by like 4? Aren't you usually awake by 4? Or is that when you're going to bed around 4? This is a carved stone. I'm looking to see if there are holes in the side. There are no holes in the side. But it's a carved stone. I think it's a dragon on one side at least. Yeah, they're dragons. Dragon on that side. And different kind of dragon on that side. Yes, yes, yes. There's the face there. And then the face on this one is down here. Super cool, large pendant. There are multiple holes that you could use to hang this from, if you wanted to. There are no holes, though, that go through the ring on the outside of it. Or you could wire wrap it, or bezel set it. Make your own bezel around it. And it is, I'm going to do this one in inches. This is about 2 inches. About 2 inches. And the stone is some kind of jasper. I don't know which jasper, but it's some kind of jasper. So it's ACS 15. We've just sold the other 14, so I'm going to put those away. Thank you, thank you. Put this in here. Mary says, my cats don't usually wake me up, but they do demand food when I do. So yes, and cats are often the reason. Yeah, now that the cats aren't in the bedroom with us, because Andrew has found that it helps his allergies if they don't sleep on our pillows with us. Oh, 15 sold as well. Thank you. They don't really wake us up because they do sometimes in the morning try to claw on the door or meow at the door late at night and in the morning, but we have fans going or the air conditioner going and can't really hear them. But as soon as I wake up in the morning, usually waking up to go to the bathroom, they're like, usually there's like at least 3 of the 5 of them just waiting at the top of the stairs for me to open the door. It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute. All right. ACS 16. I'm going to have to speed up maybe a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, I just blanked on this. I'm going to show it anyway. Why am I blanking? Oh, it's Aquaterra Jasper. This is what Norma used in her recent necklace that she made during the creative make-along. That's the word. She posted it in the Design Challenges group, and we had some of the check glass from that the other day, and then I found one more strand of this. I think she used the ovals. These are the round coins. And Aquaterra Jasper dyed. This is dyed. So it's $8. You know, we always say some people don't like dyed stones, and that's okay. I always say that as long as you know, you can make the decision. And we don't mind them as long as it's dyed well and it's not going to come off. So we make sure that we have strands that the dye job is not going to leak onto you, right, if you sweat or something. And this is 12.5 millimeters approximately. Coins of Aquaterra dyed jasper. Yeah, we don't mind dye. Sometimes it's really pretty to have a dyed stone, and they work with, you know, if you build it into the design, it works. But yeah, it's as long as you know and you can make the decision knowing, right? Fred was the culprit this morning, says Harry. Amanda says, I thought so. George and Neville and Mr. Wizard come at 4:30 for snuggles. That's cute. That's cute. Okay. Let's see. We just sold 16. Thank you so much. So let me put that away. I wish I had more of those because I sold a few of them, but sorry, I've only got the one. This is ACS 17, and these were 8. I'm gonna go down $1, but I'm sorry I can't go further. These are nice vintage glass beads coming up. There are 2 strands available. Vintage glass, little egg shapes. Not quite egg, right? They're little ovals. Eggs have one side flatter than the other, or yeah, narrower. But I love, if you can see, there's some color striations in there, different blues in some of them. And I think it's super fun. I like those. That's that old glass look. These are 8-inch strands. Let me lay it out. 8-inch strands, and each bead is approximately 9 millimeters by 10, almost 11. We'll say 11. 9 by 11. 2 of those available. Vintage glass. Not sure if it's vintage Czech, vintage German. I'm not 100% sure on those ones. Sif just came to sit on my lap. Loki is in the closet as usual. That's cute. ACS 18. These are, had them at $4 each. I'm going to take them down to $3 each. And they're lamp work. I've got 5 of them available. You can get all of them for $15 today, which I think is a good deal for a strand of lamp work. So these are these small lamp work beads. And they're blue and kind of this gray-green and I love them. And these ones are approximately 16 by 15 millimeters. Thickness wise, they're about 8. There are 5 of them available, and they're $3 each. I figure instead of doing the whole set, I do them individually, let you have a chance to get some lamp work if you want individually. But like, I think, look how pretty they would be with that. It's a really good color match on those beads with that vintage glass. Because sometimes blues don't always match up. That's a really good match to the blue if you're looking for a little matchy match there. Didn't do that on purpose, but it happened. That would actually be fun with those too. Didn't do that on purpose. Sometimes things happen. We've sold 2 of those so far. Thank you so much. There's 3 of them remaining. All right, I guess it's time to take 8 off the table. Nobody wants these beautiful green 2-hole connector wild things here. So I'm going to put them away. We just sold, well, we sold the last 3 of them. We sold the last 3 of those, so thank you so much. So all of 18 are gone. Thank you, thank you. Let me take those off here. Okay, move this down. ACS 12 is still available. ACS 13. Serendipitous, is Marianne. I know, right? It is. Oops, somebody tried to get all of those again. Sorry, they are sold out. Sold out. I wish I had more. I have these. These are going to be nice. Maybe you'll like these too. I can't go, because we had these at $6 each. ACS 19. Can't quite go to 3, but I will go to 4. And I've got 5 of these available. ACS 19 are these. I love these. These are some of my favorite lampwork beads that we've got. And I don't know why we still have them, but we do. I think they're so cool. I love this pattern. They work with black, so if you have onyx or the hematite, lots of beautiful, it's a good way to add color to your black strands, add a little pop of color. And of course it's blue and green, which I love. A little off from that blue. It would work. It's not quite as good of a match as the other ones were. So there are 5 of these available. They are $4 each. And they are 16 millimeter beads. Harry says those 19 are beautiful, aren't they? Like, I don't even know what talent you have to have to make those triangles in the glass while you're spinning that on a spindle, right? Like, when you make lampwork glass, you got to keep it spinning on a spindle. So to lay out triangles, I don't know. I don't know how these people do stuff like that, but that's talent. And let's see, we've just sold all of them. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I priced them individually in case, sometimes people don't want to buy the whole lot, but somebody just grabbed them all. Thank you. ACS 20. This is a little fun thing. This is $1.50. I tried to put some lower cost things in here too a little bit, and that's why I broke up some of the lamp work too, because I did not, like I said, I didn't realize the big event was this weekend, and so I know some of you were probably there. So now that I realized that, I changed things up a little bit. This is Peruvian ceramic. It's a Peruvian ceramic parrot, and there's one of them. So I've got one of those. It is drilled cross side to side, Peruvian ceramic parrot, and one available, $1.50. Susan says, I have some and they are beautiful, so hopefully it was me who got them. It was. Sandra said, I just saw a post on August 2nd. There's a solar eclipse where the whole world goes dark for 6 minutes. Really? How can... Really? I didn't see that. That's interesting. I know Harry's normally our local astronomer. Is that a real thing, Harry? Is it actually happening? Do you know? Oh, I'm going to give you a good deal on this because we've had this around for a little bit. ACS 21. This was 24. I'm going to knock a whole $8 off. I'm going to go down to $16 only. Sandra says, that's what it says. Kim said, saw that too. Creepy. Harry says, only in Africa. Donna says, yes, on August 2nd. This is a beautiful lampwork bead. If you got some of that, some of our carnelian, I think carnelian would go really well with this. It's got some really pretty carnelian colors to it. Add some white beads. Be really stunning. There's a lot of different colors in here though that you could really play with and pull out. But it's lampwork glass, and it is 28 millimeters by about 30. 28 by 30, only $16 now. Was 24, dropping to 16 for y'all. If somebody wants it. I know we've had it around for a little bit. So if you want it, it's yours. We sold 20. Thank you so much. There's that little parrot friend. Suzanne says, got to go to my class. It's across the river. Have a great pottery class, William, and everyone have a great evening. You have a great class too, Suzanne. Thanks for hanging out with us today. It's good to see you here again. And tell Charlie to be good to Cinnamon. Barnaby's going to have to come down and stick up for his woman. ACS 22. All right. This is a piece by Harry. And let's do this. This was 16. We'll bring it down to 14. Susan says, that is beautiful. Too bad I remembered. I'm retired now and have limited income. I'm going to start selling stuff though, right, Susan? I'm going to start selling stuff. So make it, sell it. Make it, sell it. That's what I say, right? I need to make more to sell. This is by Harry. This is a scarab pendant in ceramic. And I think it's super cool. I love scarabs. I love Egyptian stuff. I always have, ever since I was young, I've been drawn to it. I think a lot of people are. This one is about 22 millimeters by about 33. And it's $14. Ceramic pendant by Harry Wood. All right, I'm going to put this lampwork glass back. Kimberly says, I love scarab beads too, right? Harry says, I remember that one. Kimberly says, why did you have to show me a bug? I know, right? I'm going to tease you with bugs. ACS 12. I'm going to put that back. That's that hollow lampwork glass bead. And where that goes in the list here. And I'm surprised 13 didn't sell. Last time we had these available, we had, I think, 4 purple ones available, and they sold right away. These Venetian glass beads, $6 each. No, $6 for the pair. I'm sorry, $6 for the pair. Saying $6 each. No, $6 for the pair. Still available. Maybe y'all got what you wanted of those. Got your fill, right? That happens. ACS 21. ACS 22 is the scarab. Harry says that scarab was cast from a French glass original from 1930. That's cool. That makes it even cooler. I'm going to say I love the scarab beads, right? Everyone loves it, but is anyone going to take it? It's still available. ACS 22. Okay. This is ACS 23. These were 12. I'm going to bring them down to 10 a strand. There are 3 of them available. This is a check glass, large check glass, vintage. This is a 12-inch strand of check glass beads. They are blue and green. There's a, I'm like doing blue and green today. This is like the second or third thing that's been blue and green. Blue and green. Beautiful beads. Vintage check. They are about 7.5 millimeters by 8. 7.5 by 8 millimeter beads. Nice long strand. 3 strands available. ACS 23. $10 a strand. Okay, I'm going to remove ACS 17. Nobody's grabbed those. Vintage glass for $7 each. And move these over. This is 21, that glowy carnelian kind of color. 22 is the scarab ceramic. Came from, as Harry said, a French glass original from 1930. That's where it was cast out of. And then 23 are these vintage check beads. $10 for $10 a strand, 3 strands available. Okay, these were $8. I'm going to bring them down to 6 per pair, and there are 2 pairs available. These are hand carved bone flowers drilled through the center. There are 2 pairs of them available. They're each different. They're all different. They're hand carved, similar but different. Hand carved bone. 2 pairs available. $6 a pair now. Susie says, will you show your pottery tomorrow? If I get something, yes. Even if it's bad, I will be showing it to y'all tomorrow. Even if they're terrible, which I don't know how they're going to show up. ACS 25 These are $6 each. And there are 2 of them. Can't go lower than that because these are vintage check glass buttons, and that's pretty much what that's pretty much lower than what they normally run. And these are vintage check glass buttons. Look at the color. They are metallicized on the back to give you that extra flash. It's not necessarily a metal backing, I don't think. It's a metallicized glass. They're not a metal backing. It's all glass, and then they're metallicized to give you that. It gives that extra flash in there. So not a metal back. Some people don't like the metal backs, but these ones, when they're shaped like this especially, that's usually the glass molded, and then the back is metallicized. Like they metallicize an S-word crystal to give it extra flash. That's what they did on these. And these are super flashy, super fun. 2 of them available, $6 each for the vintage check glass buttons. And this is the 18mm size. 18mm size. Harry says, I made a big decision yesterday to give most of my old brass stampings to a local artist. She came to get them, and I had to use a 2-wheel dolly to push it out to their cars, about 30 pounds. Wow, that's awesome. That's very nice of you. Very nice, Harry. I know you've been organizing and cleaning and all that good stuff. Is it helping? Has it been helping you in your work? Probably feels good to just kind of organize a little better. I'm going to put this one away too. That's Harry's ACS 22 Scarab, $14. All right, we just sold both pairs of the carved flowers. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Those are nice. Carved bone flowers. So we still have 23, which is the vintage check, and ACS 25, which are the buttons. $6 each. Making room to organize for more ceramic and lapidary work. Nice. ACS 26. This is $12. And these are lampwork glass. This is a set of 3 lampwork glass. We had some brown and gold ones like this, and then I found these blue ones. And these are super pretty. They've got a little bit of glitter in there. A little bit of that glitter glass going on. But I figure I saw we were doing some blues here, and I thought some of you might like these. These are about 11.5 by about, we'll round up 14, 11.5 by 14 millimeters on those. 3 of them available, $12 for the set of 3. And then, okay, so I love these. I don't know if y'all are going to like these or not. I'm going to price them at $4 for a bundle. And I'm going to put this away because I need the felt mat so these don't roll around. They are rounds. Let me move these over. Move this over. Move this up onto here. These are these glass, ceramic beads. Are they glass or are they ceramic? Now I'm questioning. That's hard to tell. I think they're glass. Anyway, they're these little rounds, and they have this kind of blue-green shimmer shine coat to them. I think they're electroplated glass. I think that's what they are. They are 8mm beads, and for those of you who like I do, like sets of things, I have 3 different colorways of these: ACS28 and ACS29. So 28 is going to be this color. This is like the purple. It doesn't it like look like it feels soft? Like I just feel like it looks like velvet. That purple is so Technicolor. Like even on the camera, it's coming across like that on my end. Like they're Technicolor purple. So I think they're really nice. I love these. Sandra says, I think I should go back to bed. Took something out of the cabinet and 2 plates shattered on the floor. Oh no. Oh no. That's no good. I hate when that happens. It happens to me. More often now that I'm an anxious adult than ever before. I used to be a very calm kid. I never, did fidget stuff. I was always super calm. My brother was the fidgety one, and he was the one that couldn't stay still, and he would be doing his homework, and my mom still talks about how they'd be doing homework together, and he would be upside down doing headstands on the couch. We just sold both of those. Thank you so much. And now I am like fidgety and, a little bit, I think it's my anxiety that makes me, like I said, we were talking about earlier in the show, a little unbalanced as far as keeping my balance. And I do drop things a lot more, and I think it's because of that. I'm not focused all the time. ACS 29. We just sold 27. Thank you so much. That's the blue-green. And then we have this beautiful kind of orangey, pinky, yellow, green. Orangey, pinky, yellow, green, I'm going to call it. It's like Tutti Frutti. Tutti Frutti Blast right there. And those are available also. $4 for the whole lot of them. We just sold 27, 28. Sorry, we sold them twice, and I only have one of each. 29 is still available, though, so the Tutti Frutti ones are still available if anyone's interested in those. First come, first serve. Let me put this in. It's taking me a while to get back in the bags. I don't know where my triangle is. I know there's one here somewhere, but where would it be at this moment? No idea. Harry says, I can't remember the name, but I have a bunch of those beads. Mine are square and other shapes. I think we did have little cubes at one point, too. I think you're right. But I don't think I have any more. I think these came from a vintage lot that Andrew got somewhere. Okay, we're going to go, let's see, ACS 30. 29 is still available. ACS 30. What do I have in here? Oh, someone's gonna have to help me with the name because I totally blanked. I'm gonna do $5 for both of these. These beads. I swear, my brain doesn't want to function anymore. I always know the name of these, and now I can't think of them. I want to say it starts with a K. Am I right? Why can't I think? Anyway, you know what these are. If you know, you know. We had some people requesting these. We sold some, I think, before Andrew left, and I found 2 more. So $5 for the pair of these. And these are the 2 that I have left on those. Get back over there. Well, there we just sold 29. Thank you so much. That's really making me... Cashmere, says Marianne. Nope. Wow. You know, it was in my brain until I pulled them out of the bag and looked at them. It's one of those things. Somebody just requested them too the other day. It'll come to me, or it won't, or it'll come to someone else. Let's see here. ACS 31. I want to call them cornflakes, says Donna. No. Kazori. That's it. Thank you, Marianne. Kazori beads. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to give you a real good deal on these. I just given away the good deals today. I do have 2 strands. These are Rainbow Moonstone drops. They were $60 a strand, which is already was a good deal for this quality. They're going down to $40 for y'all today. And these are Rainbow Moonstone faceted drops. I want you to see how much flash is in these. They are really, really beautiful, high quality moonstone drops. And the clarity, like there's not a lot of that, you know, sometimes moonstone, you get the kind of the blue moonstone that's a little foggy or completely white to get the flash. These have flash and they are nearly crystal clear. Really beautiful drops. They are approximately 6 millimeters. Usually they're about the same. About 6 by 5 in this case. 6 by 5. Cornflakes, sort of that shape, but I hope your cornflakes are never that color, says Marianne. Right? Look at the colors on those. And I'm going to show you the other strand, just so you know. We're not offering one strand, showing you one, the good one, and hiding the bad one. We don't do that. If anything, we show you the worst one usually and be like, this is the worst you're ever going to get. But look at that flash in that. Look at that quality of stone. 2 of those available, $40 each, ACS 31. Really nice drops. Make brilliant earrings or bracelet. Imagine a bracelet with that. You'd be the talk of the town. Now, speaking of moonstone, I've got some other moonstone here that is not as flashy, but it's a nice, just nice moonstone stone, and it's a cheap price, $10 for the strand. And this is what I mean when I say that they're often a little bit foggy or white. This is a blue moonstone. Not much flash to this one. There is like on some portions, like on the edges more on some of these. So they do, there's a flash a lot of times on the edges of the beads, but it's not anywhere near these. So when you compare the two and you think this strand's $10, these are only, 4 times, but the quality is so much higher. That's a really good deal for those. And these are 7.5 by about 10. 7.5 by 10. And this strand is, let me fold it because it's going bigger than the ruler, a 14-inch strand. Donna says they're beautiful, aren't they? And then ACS33. Ooh, I'm running low on time. We're going to go to 35 today. That's what I've decided. 35 today. All right. These are $2 each. There are 4 of them available. These are hand-carved agate. Agate? Maybe jade. No agate. Either, I don't know. Either one. Hand-carved. They're fun. They are a little bit, they're like a gray purple. It's hard to see that. They look more like burgundy on the screen, but they're like a gray purple color under the light. And they're $2 each, and they are 15mm beads. Hand carved, 4 of them available. I'm going to put 26 away. Nobody has grabbed those. I don't think. No, nobody's grabbed those. It's 26. $12 for those. The Kazuri beads I'm going to put away. It's $5 for the pair of those. Oh, excuse me. Gonna move over the moonstone in case anybody's still thinking about those and how beautiful they are. Move over this moonstone. And I'm gonna move these so they don't roll around so much. ACS 34. Bless you, says Donna. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. These are a strange fruit. No one has been able to tell what fruit these are exactly yet. But these are lampwork glass fruit beads. I'm sure it's some kind of fruit we don't know because it's very specific, right? Green with a red dot. Like, what is that? Somebody made these, and somebody made them after some kind of fruit. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody here today will know. Let me see here. These are $10 for the lot. I'm going to do them for $8 today. Little fruit. I don't know what kind. I'm not sure. Oh, we sold one of the 31s. Thank you so much. There's still one of these available if you are interested. Last one. Last one. No more at that price after that. And let's see here. Last one today. Overall, ACS 35. These were 40. No, they were 45. They were 45. We did them once at 40. I'm going to go a little bit lower and do them at 36. No, you can't. Oh, well. 36. And this is, what is 33 made of? I think they are a, that's a hard one for me to say. Because they're an odd color. They could be a dyed jade. They could be an agate. I'm not 100% sure. I wish I could say for sure. Andrew might have a better idea. I don't know. He's not here though, unfortunately. He usually knows, or at least can take a more educated guess. Last one are these briolets. I guess they're not really briolets. They're not pointed at the bottom. So drops, faceted drops in a very high quality rose quartz. We used to have these in shorty strands, and this is a nice long strand. This is an 8-inch strand. I think we used to have them at 4 inches, and they used to be about this much. So prices have come down a little bit. They were $45 originally. We sold them once at $40, and we still have them. So I'm dropping them down to $36 for you all. And these are really, really pretty. Let me get in here. They're also really hard to measure because they're so tightly put together. 6.5 millimeters by 6.5 millimeters. And that's ACS 35. It is a stunningly beautiful strand. Again, rose quartz, not very cloudy at all. There's a few that are a little more cloudy than others, but they still retain that pink, even though they're pretty transparent, which is, you know, not an easy thing to accomplish. It's a good, very good quality stone. Rose quartz, good healing stone. Everyone knows rose quartz. If you make things with rose quartz, everyone knows it. It's one of those that you don't have to really convince people that it's a good stone. People know. And those are wonderful little drops. So ACS 35, $36 per strand. We just sold the other 31, so both of the 31s have sold. Thank you so much. I'm going to put those away. Thank you, thank you. And that is the end of the show for me tonight. I would do 5 more. I had planned for it, but I have to get to my pottery class. So I'm going to do a quick goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for your support today. I really do appreciate it. And again, if you missed last night's show, please do take a look. There's a lot of great stuff from Harry in there. Harry sent us some new stuff, and I posted some of it yesterday. I didn't post as much because it was a lower viewed show, so I didn't want to show it all off when not a lot of people were watching. But there is still some really good stuff. Some really fun stuff, some really nice pendants, some nice bowls. If you like Harry's bowls, I think I had 2 or 3 bowls. One of his eggs was on there. We had some little houses, some little kind of block houses, decorations, which are super cool. So those are still available. And lots of other beads too from last night. So other kinds, I did glass. I can't remember all that I did. Gemstones, glass. I don't know if I had any metal. I think I did. I had some copper spacers, I think, last night. So those are all available. If you'd like to grab any, please check it out. And I thank you all again for a great day. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for helping me get through my rough day. I'm sorry for those of you who are also having a rough day, and I send lots of love and lots of good energy to you all, and hopefully your day gets better. And let's hope all of our days just keep getting better and better. All right, everyone, thank you so much. I gotta run because I have to get to pottery, or I'm going to be late. All right, thank you again. I will do the invoicing after my pottery class. So if you want to get on this round of invoices, you'll have until about 9 o'clock tonight to claim from this video or yesterday's video. All right, thanks so much. Bye, everybody.